Let's do some math. Let's do some math. Just wait. We're going to do some math. We're going to do some math. Just wait. Hey, fifth graders, welcome to another fantastic day. And you know what we're going to talk about today? We are going to discuss, what's the topic? Oh, adding and subtracting whole numbers and decimals. Yeah. So, hey, get your pencils out, paper. We're going to take some notes. This video tutorial should not take more than 5-10 minutes long. All right. So, hey, the topic is adding, subtracting whole numbers and decimals. The very first thing I want you to do is write these problems down and fill in the vocabulary terms. Go ahead, press pause. Thank you very much. All right, so numbers that you add are called addends. Yeah. Number and the answer to addition problem is known as the sum. The answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. And these two, you don't really need to know, but you do now. This is the top number in a subtraction problem. It's called the minuend, the bottom subtract, something like that. Okay, so anyway, terms. Hey, let's look at this problem. If I gave you this problem, 5.9 plus 14, which one do you think is correct? Which sum? Do you think it would be John's answer, which is here, whoop, or Sally's sum, which is here? Which one? Shout it out loud. You think the answer is? Hello? Did you say Sally's? Because that is correct. This is incorrect. Hey, use your math sense. You have 14, right? You've got 14. You're adding roughly 6. 5.9, that's close to 6. 14 plus 5.9 would be about, what? Would be about 20. Yeah, you should get near 20. This makes no sense at all. So the important thing to remember when you are adding whole numbers and decimals is that you line up your places. The places have to be lined up correctly. I have 4 ones plus 5 ones, which gives me 9 ones. 4 ones, 5 ones, 9 ones. Here, this person's trying to add 1, what is that? That is 110. And 110 plus 5 ones, a 10 plus 5 ones does not give you 7. Yeah, think of it this way. If you have 1 minute plus 1 second, that is, right, it's not 2. If you have 1 foot plus 1 inch, that is, it's not 2, right? Because they're different units. So you have to think the same way when you're adding whole numbers and decimals. I can't add a 10 to 5 ones and say it's 7. And the reason why it's 7 is because we carry that 1 over. But anyway, okay, so do you guys catch my drift? Catch my drift? All right, so let's rock and roll to the next slide. All right, here we go. So, hey, press pause, copy this down. These are the steps that I want you to do when you're adding whole numbers and decimals. Okay, go ahead, press pause. All right, did you press pause? All right, so let's get back to this. So the very first thing you should do when you see a problem is estimate. So if you get a problem like this, you should just estimate. I mean, your brain should be thinking to yourself right now, hey, I have roughly 16. I have roughly 8. 16 plus 8, that's about 24. I should get about 24. And then, that's step 1. You should just use mental math. Step 2, line up the correct places. Line them up. So when I'm adding, a 4th grader might try to do this. See that? But you know you have to line up your 9/10 with your 9/10. Those 9/10 have to be lined up with the other 9/10. You have to add a minute to a minute. You have to add a second to a second, a foot to a foot. You have to add a tenth to a tenth. So we have to line this up correctly. So the correct way of writing this problem would be 15.9 plus 7.98, okay? And then some students, they like to add a zero. They like to add a zero. You know, some do. You don't have to, but some like to add the zero to just kind of make everything look nice and neat. And then you just add. That part's not rocket science. You guys know how to add. You just add, okay? So this would be 8 hundredths plus 0 hundredths, which is 8 hundredths. 9 tenths plus 9 tenths, well, that's 18 tenths, but you got to carry your 1. Bring the decimal straight down. This would be 7 ones plus 1 plus 5. That would be 13 plus 1. Hey, we estimated to get about 24. Did we? Is our sum about 24? Yeah, so that makes sense. So again, the steps are you should always first estimate. Second, line up your correct places. Then add or subtract, and then compare. Think about, hey, I got this. I thought I would get this. Okay, that sounds right. Because if you're way off, then you know you made a mistake somewhere. So, let's see here. What do we got here? So, you guys pause and solve this problem. But before you solve, what should you do?
Estimate.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Solve. All right, are you back? Okay. So, hey, if I'm estimating, yeah, 9 is roughly 9. Now, this is a little harder, but if you have 89 out of 100ths, you almost have a whole. Because 100 out of 100 is a whole. So if you got 89 out of 100, that's almost a whole. So I have 9 plus almost a whole plus about 3. So if I add those 3 add-ins and I'm estimating, I should expect about 13. Okay? So now look at your actual answer. Did you get around 13? Because if you didn't, then you know you made a mistake. So let's just add. We're estimating about 13. I have 9 plus 89 hundredths plus 3 and 12 hundredths. Notice how I wrote my 9 and my 89 hundredths. Because in 9, this is in the ones place. The number or the decimal is always to the right of the ones place. So my decimal is right here. Okay? I have my 9 ones with my 3 ones. See how those places are lined up. I can add zeros if I like. And so now I add, I get 11, I get 10, and I get 13. Okay, bring down my decimal. We estimated to get about 13, and our sum is roughly 13. So that makes sense, right? Okay, good. So hey, 5th graders, what I want you to do is, let's just solve these 2 problems on your own. I don't have a star, but I'm going to put a star. So there's the red star. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Solve these 2 problems, and then we'll talk about them when we come back, or when you come to see me the following day, which would probably be, what, tomorrow, Thursday? Yes. Before you solve, what should you do? You should wait, yeah, and you should estimate, okay? So don't be such in a rush. Make sure you think about what your sum should be before you solve, okay, on both of these. Go ahead and press pause and solve, and then this is the end of the video. We're going to just rock on out of here. Can we talk for a moment? All right, bye now.